How would you feel after grinding for years and years, 8+ hours every day through all the ups and downs to finally become a pro? You're making all that money while doing what you love. But then suddenly you pick up an injury that actually derives from Fortnite and boom, you're now forced to basically quit the game. While that has been the reality for multiple pros, including Issa, a pro that used to dominate years ago but then started having this injury pop up over and over again, leading to his eventual retirement from Fortnite competitive. And yeah, I know that sounds kind of crazy, bro. How in the world can you get an injury from playing a video game, let alone an injury that forces you to quit? Like, what? Isn't that supposed to be a thing that happens to pro sport players like in football, where someone might get into a bad collision at a weird angle, suffering a terrible injury, and literally have to retire because it's impossible to continue on? Or at least take a massive break that still sets them so far back. That makes sense because it's literally a physical sport where you are running around with physical risk involved. What could playing Fortnite possibly do? Well, let me introduce you to carpal tunnel syndrome. This is where all the nerves and tendons inside your carpal tunnel, which is a tunnel in your wrist made of bones, etc., swell up really badly because of repetitive use and strain. And because it's quite literally a tunnel, all the nerves and tendons in that tunnel swell up against each other and push against each other into a big mess. And as you can imagine, that's going to come along with some bad problems. It starts with some pain in your wrist, some numb/tingling sensations in your wrist, hand, and fingers. And in the extreme end, it's going to force you to get surgery. Otherwise, you're going to end up partially losing control of your fingers/hands. But there's good news for you, bro. Even if you have some symptoms that I mentioned, there's some things you can do to prevent it getting worse, or just prevent it from ever becoming a thing if you don't have any symptoms. I literally got early signs of carpal tunnel syndrome back in the day, but then I went to the osteopath and did my own research on how to prevent it, and well, it never got worse and actually completely went away. So here's my advice. The 100% most important thing you can do to prevent this is to stretch your wrists out fully and consistently every day using these two moves: the full stretch and the prayer pose. The full stretch is just when you fully extend one of your arms, lift your palm up facing it forwards while using your other hand to pull the stretched hand back. Then repeat that on both arms, about 10 seconds each. And secondly, the prayer pose is just when you put your hands together in the pose of a prayer, obviously, and almost push together and down, for again about 10 seconds. With both of these stretches, you're aiming to obviously feel a nice stretching feel, actually mostly in your forearm, and then you'll know you're doing them right. To go through with that cycle twice, so a full stretch left hand, a full stretch right hand, a prayer pose twice over, will literally take you anywhere between 1 to 2 minutes. So what I want you to do, and what I actually did do myself, is just to do this stretch cycle every single time you think of it, or just any time like you're in the lobby, etc., waiting. And that's it, bro. Regardless if you have any symptoms or not, if you're thinking about going pro one day, investing all that time, you must get into the consistent habit of doing these stretches every single day. Otherwise, eventually all your practice and time will go to waste.